Sometimes people wonder why it is the deeper they get into spirituality, the harder it seems sometimes. Now the movie Mother, I recommend people watch the movie Mother, but it's not for the faint of heart. It's a very intense movie, and it pretty much illustrates the spiritual process pretty well. It includes scenes where Jennifer Lawrence is losing her mind because she doesn't understand what's happening to her. It's stuff coming at her too fast, right? She's trying to figure out what's going on, but she can't quite comprehend it, and it happens super fast, and I won't ruin the end of the movie, but it is a spiritual process. It needs to be interpreted that way to really get it. Well, for a lot of us, the more spiritual you become, the crazier things get sometimes. So I'm going to describe for you a fun couple ways to think about why it is it happens like that. And rest assured, you're in good company if your life seems fairly wild and crazy and out of control sometimes, and yet you're trying to be a good little boy or girl. It could be very much because of what I'm about to share with you. The way energy works and the way the process works when you're getting deeper and deeper or closer and closer to the truth, okay? First, we're going to just describe the way a metronome works. You know what a metronome is? Musicians use it to try to keep time while they're trying to play. And the metronome can go really slow sometimes, right? To the left and to the right and to the left, and it's a slow process. But the closer you get to balance, what happens? The closer you get to center, it actually starts to speed up, right? Left, right, left, left, right. And at the very end of it is when it goes the fastest, okay? This is similar to our minds. The closer we get to the ultimate truth, our mind's going to spin a little quicker. It might go faster, right? And you might be dizzier as a result. You know, why is this so difficult and complex? Well, you're getting closer to the truth. When you're far away from the truth, there's a slow process of up and down and left and right, and it's sort of hard to perceive. But it's not hard to perceive at all when you lose your mind every 10 seconds, right? And that's, for most of us, seemingly, I'm not good at this anymore. What's wrong with me? I'm failing at my process because I lose it so quickly. No, actually, it's the opposite. You might be closer to the truth. Another way to think of it, if you go to, say, Dairy Queen, and you see one of those coin donation funnels, right, where you drop the coin in, there's the hand dropping a coin into it. I can't draw it 3D, so you got to visualize here. If I drop a coin into that, what happens? At the top of the funnel, it's a long, slow arc, right? It rolls around and round and round, and what happens as it gets closer to the bottom? It starts to speed up. And at the very bottom, it goes super fast, and then clink, the donation has been made, okay? It's the same thing as the metronome. The closer you get to the ultimate goal, the more centered, because you know, this is a vortex that's pushing us, or pushing the coin to this center point, the closer you get to ultimate balance, the faster the thing's going to vibrate and rotate, right? Again, that's like our mind sometimes. It goes quicker and quicker and quicker. The tests come quicker. Your inability to actually follow through in what you should be doing is going to feel more intense. It's like walking a tightrope. The higher you are on the tightrope, the more focused you better be. And the uglier the situation if you lose your focus, because you'll fall off that tightrope. So, in the coin funnel, the closer it gets to actual balance, the quicker it spins, just like our minds. This is Luke 12:48, to those who much has been given, much is expected, okay? Now, we could take this analogy a little further. Because if I just drop one coin in there, what happens? You could just follow it all the way to its conclusion. And by the way, it's a guaranteed conclusion. The beauty of this thing, it's a fait accompli. Once that coin goes in there, we know where it's going to end. Such is our lives as well, by the way. We're all growing towards this process. It's the inner Christ. It's the Buddha within. All of us are going towards that ultimate balance point. In Buddhism, it's called Dzogchen. Okay? You will experience the great perfection. You're headed there. Everything in the universe is guiding you there. Everything that gets dropped into this funnel ends up going through that. Okay? It's not going to go up and out. And yet it's a process of left and right and center and left and right and center and left and right and center. Blah, 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 blah. Now what happens when I put 2 coins in there? Isn't that fun? You know, take your kid to one of these things, hey, take my money, put it in the coin funnel, right? And let's see what happens. It's fun watching 2 coins. You might have them go opposite directions even. But even though they're going opposite directions, aren't they going to the same spot? Right? Now let's add a 3rd coin and a 4th coin. 2 coins might be right next to each other. That's fun to do. And yet, where are they going? They're all going to the same place. Now let's put, 7 billion coins in this funnel. What's going to happen? Mass chaos. A bunch of coins bouncing off each other, right? Stopping their momentum quick. That might even make it go through the funnel even quicker. And yet our days are like this. Day after day is this chance to seek balance. And the next day you start at the top again, right? And you're seeking your balance. And every day you wake up, you start at the top of the funnel. You want to get to that balance point as quickly as possible. Sometimes when you smash into somebody else, you're going to learn quicker, right? This world is very chaotic. It might center you even quicker because you smashed up against somebody else. This is why we have Romans 8:28. All things work together for good for those who love God. Everything that gets dropped into this funnel eventually reaches the ultimate destination, right? It just happens at different rates and different speeds, different complexities. Now, if you're a coin that's closer to the end and everything starts speeding up for you, and you spend some time thinking about these coins up here who have it easy, look how slow their life is, right? They seem so peaceful. And you're down here worried about those coins, you're missing the fact that you're actually closer to the end. To those who much has been given, much is expected. Well, what does that mean? Stay focused on you. Buddha's last words, which I'm saying almost every video. Strive for your own liberation with diligence. Yes, you're going to go through some crazy spinning processes, okay? But that doesn't mean you're losing it. It means you're getting closer. But the person that starts to judge other in that process is going to feel it even more intensely, right? So rest assured that you might have 7 billion coins in a funnel. All of them are going to the same destination. All of them at different rates. They could seemingly be exact opposite points. You could have one here and one here. You could have one here and one down here, right? You could have one almost there. That one might look the most difficult. Why Jesus in John 7:24 says, judge not by mere appearances, judge correctly. If we were to look at somebody whose head is spinning and say, wow, they've lost their minds. Well, they might. It's actually a good thing to lose your mind. You find the Christ within when you do that sometimes. But it's so easy to look at someone else and judge them and say they're not actually doing what it is that they need to be doing. That might be true, that might not. I want you to know yourself and know why it is that each of us on this process we're attempting to be spiritual. For a while, it might seem like you're going a little bit crazy. For a while, it might seem like things are getting more chaotic. Life circumstances become more difficult. I work with addiction a lot. Relapses happen to people who are actually getting higher up there sometimes. The least bit of fear and regret and resentment or any type of lack of focus will sometimes trigger a relapse for somebody, okay? And the emotional situations we have hurts even worse when we do that sometimes. What is that attempting to get you to do? Stay focused. Whether it's a metronome that's getting closer and closer to the balance point, or this coin funnel, which is always guiding you where you need to go. That's why my favorite therapeutic word is trust, right? Why one of my favorite Bible verses, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. That means you can trust what's happening to you. If you're just nature focused, evolution is a thing. And what does evolution do? It's the survival of the fittest. Each of us are being guided towards our better possible physical selves. Evolutionary wise, survival of the fittest. Well, it's happening with spirituality too. Our consciousness and our spirit are being evolved. Your life circumstances are requiring that you do that. If you don't adapt to your circumstances, you're going to get deselected from the gene pool. Okay? The fact is you can trust your circumstances. It doesn't mean you sit around and do nothing, okay? But you got to adapt somehow, and you adapt by embracing what you're going through. Hence we have Jesus on the cross, not complaining about being a victim. He's saying, I got to focus on what I'm supposed to do. We all know that Jesus got to this point, okay? And he completed his act. That's exactly what he said. It is finished. I'm quite confident he wasn't thinking about coin funnels, but that's what happened. He got to the end and he said, it is finished. He had completed his work. This is what we all must do as well. You're somewhere in the funnel, as am I. We're here, so we're not done yet. Who are you supposed to focus on? You and your development. We spend so much time worrying about why other people go through what they're going through, why they're the cause of our pain when that's not the case. Each of us produce brain chemistry that makes us feel the way that we feel. Nobody else can mess with my brain chemistry unless I let them. And when I trust my circumstances and I trust what's happening to me, that I'm being guided somewhere, I'm being funneled, if you will, to an end destination, now I can love God with all my heart, soul, mind, and strength. Now I can trust on a very, very high level. And now I can know that as I'm striving for my own liberation, I can recognize what it is that I'm going through must be something I'm supposed to experience. That doesn't mean I sit back and take it. But when you trust Next thing you know, you're getting closer to the destination. You'll also feel better, you'll respond smarter, you'll interact better, and if you're political, you'll do more effective political maneuvers. You won't aggravate the other side so much. You'll be more of a peacemaker there. Both sides could probably use that, right? So in the end, each of us is in the same funnel. It is a whirlwind of a world, right? It's very chaotic. And yet if you focus on where you're at in this, that's all you can do anyways. Focus on where you're at. Don't want to smash into somebody else. Navigate. Twist and turn a little bit. The closer it gets to the end, the harder it might be. But guess what? That's good news. You're almost done.